So K Rool is possibly one of the most technical parts of any run. There's a lot which can go wrong, and there's very easy ways which you can lose time if you're not executing strats correctly. So this is going to be an advanced K Rool tutorial. This is going to be going over the harder strats for each phase and the stuff which is going to shave off that little bit of time so that you get those really good times and also really good consistent times. These are the strats which I used in my 12-13. Everyone will use different strats. I would advise, on top of this, you watch TJ's K Rool 12-13. He does some different strats, and so maybe you'll find some of those easier. So I'll link that in the description. In general, I would also advise getting a K Rool practice file. So you'll want Keys 3 and 8, you'll want Rocket Barrel and Goody's gun, you want Lanky's instrument, you want Tiny's gun and Ponytail Twirl with the first time text cleared. And you'll also want Pirate Punch with Simian Slam unlocked. And also that's without MMM, you want to be able to come back to this several times. So first thing is you zoom in your camera and you unlock it. You unlock it with R and C left. Or that's at least how I do it. Timing getting into that barrel quick enough so you skip the cutscene and you start the cycle early. You'll also be doing camera manipulation here to sort of go towards the poles. Just makes it a little easier because heading side on is just not fun in terms of running. So having the camera pointing towards your destination pole is just a little bit easier. Obviously doing your counting as well for each, so 4, 5, 3, 7. Hopefully you won't have to count for the first one because... So that's DK phase. Main thing is you zoom in and lock out. That saves around about 2 seconds. So this is Diddy Face. I've done a full tutorial for this. I'll also link that in the description. That one I feel is a little bit more descriptive, but this is pretty much going over the same thing. So get damage once, backflip in a certain spot. You get into the rocket barrel in a certain place. You go into a certain spot, and you'll be able to hit both pads like without moving, really. So Z is also used here. If you don't know that Z hovers the rocket barrel, that's probably why you're not getting so consistent Diddy phases. Holding Z and just going in this spot just makes that easy. You've just basically got to hold Z, move the analog stick and press B a couple of times, and that's it. And so if you don't massively mess that up, you can get consistent 125s or less. It depends on whether you get fast walks or not. Fast walks save a fair amount of time each time you get it, but they are frame perfect. This is Lanky Phase. Lanky Phase is horrible. A lot can go wrong because it's based on cycles. So obviously zoom in, unlock your camera. This is where mine and TJ's strats start to differ. He looks at the boss for the majority of his 12-13. I look away. I just prefer that. So obviously doing the normal stuff. Down left, kind of towards the middle, and then as soon as you can, get onto that pad, and K Rool will hopefully just be right over the banana, so he'll just instantly slip like that. Now press this button, pick it up, down left again. Doing a moving attack there doesn't actually, it can make you go a little faster, but it mostly doesn't make you go any faster. I just do it there because it just gives me good timing. Thrown down right for the third one, yet again going to blue. This final one is a little bit tighter in terms of timing. If you miss it, like, you'll have to go for a backup strat, which I'll show here as well. So you see that I missed like the cycle where he would just be directly over the banana, so you have to wait a little bit, and like he'll be like on the comeback and you'll be able to play your instrument. Ideally you'd get it on the first cycle though, on when he's actually over the banana. But because we like missed the pad a few times, that's what happens. So that's Lanky phase done. Ideal time for that is like 156, 157 range. But as long as you can get consistent sub 2, then you should be fine. Tiny phase, primarily lag reduction in strats. The entire phase consists of pretty much looking at the floor, looking at the ceiling, or looking away from the boss to reduce lag. My strats here, yet again, this is how my run differs from TJ. My strats look away from the boss. This is slightly faster because you get less lag, but it's also harder because you're entirely relying on audio cues and just basically like ponytail twirls and kick slides in order to make it into the barrel. But I'll go over the audio cues when it comes to it. So as usual, zoom in, unlock camera, and also you want to be getting on top of here. I waited for some reason. The audio cue for the first one is when he ends his final walk to his to his final pound. So you can see this is his penultimate walk, and this is his last one, and he's just ended it. So now we can ponytail twirl. Sometimes you'll miss it. That's the second time I've missed it today. But if you do, then it's just a backflip in, and you don't really use too much time. Important thing here, pull out the gun as soon as possible and then get into first person as soon as you can from the second spot. Now, looking down, if you've ever seen a tiny phase without looking down, you'll know how much this saves. For this one, it's when he starts his final walk. If you're too low, you'll miss it, like there. Hopefully I get it once, because that would be a little bit embarrassing. For this one, it's basic toast.txt, so 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. In terms of the non-terminal shots, i.e. the shots where it won't take you out like that one, the non-terminal shots, it doesn't matter when you hit them as long as you hit them in time. The terminal shots, you want to get it like as soon as you can within reason. For the third and fourth ones, it's also at the start of his final walk, I should mention. So you can hear that K Rool starting to walk, and so there we go. So you get a nice early barrel entry, and that's like the earliest you can enter the barrel. If you accidentally lose an orange, I should say, you should really aim to be shooting a toe as soon as you can, as long as it's not a terminal shot. Also, something which can happen there is you get bad K Rool RNG, he spawns right in front of you, or he walks right in front of you, and you lose a little bit of time because he's just right there, and you take damage. Good times for this phase. Like, the best time that I've gotten is a high 436. Yeah, 436. If you can get it to where your best is a 430x, then you're on good standings. Like, as long as you can kind of get into the consistent low 440 range, you're good for that one. So that's Tiny Phase down, the potentially most boring phase. I would definitely advise learning Toast.txt for that. This is Chunky Phase. Chunky Phase has a lot of hard strats in it, and a bit of lag reduction as well. I'll also go over the quick pounds and the not so quick pounds. Quick pound is a very iffy strat that I do, and sometimes you fail it, sometimes you don't. So it's basically not as consistent, but it's faster than the not so quick pound. But I'll go over both just so you can get the hang of it. So as usual, the start of Chunky Phase. For this one, mash Z and crouch, and then go into first person. That like reduces a small amount of lag that you get at the start of each thing there. Mashing Z basically prevents Chunky going into a small falling animation. Please, that was unfortunate, but that is the not so quick pound there. So you move kind of slowly towards the center. Okay, so quick pound, I'll quickly explain it now. Hold upright, and you'll want to do B, then tap A, and then tap Z. Like that. And that itself, I don't know how much exactly it saves, but it saves a little bit of time. If you don't want to go into first person for that shot, that is completely understandable. You do not have a large time frame to reduce lag there. Okay, somehow that worked. So yeah, that's the general thing for Chunky Phase. Also, remember your punch timings, make sure that you don't mess it up. In terms of looking down, the safest thing is just to look down for a little bit. Even if you look down for like half a second, for most of them, you'll be fine. You won't be anywhere near to getting upcutted, and you lose a little bit. Like you'll gain a little bit of time because you're not having as much lag, which is the important thing. To go over the fast pound some more, as I said, hold upright. Then, as soon as you're sort of starting to move, you want to press B, then tap A a little bit, and then Z to pound. You'll also want to be cancelling your pounds as well. Cancelling pounds just saves a little bit of time from animation. Yeah, Chunky Phase, you can get, I would say, consistent sub 2s, sub 2 kind of ranges. The good era, like if you can get like 157s, 158s, 159s, then you're good. Yeah, so that is my advanced K Rool tutorial. If you've got any questions, put them down below and I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities, even provide videos or small tutorials if it requires it, and I hope you have an enjoyable K Rooling.